we are back for episode 4. Welcome everybody to the Woman Unveiled Priestess Initiation mini video series, Building the Foundation. We're building the foundation of the concepts that Nathalie walks women through in her 10-month program in Edmonton on her land. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the 10-month program is a program for women designed specifically to lead women into kind of like a deep dive and exploration of the self. So we go into, we look at shadows, we look at blocks, we look at limiting beliefs, we look at really what's in the way from our own greatness. I think our greatness is what's being called on right now in the world. And there are a lot of ways that we stop ourselves from being that greatness.
Yeah, so far we've talked about archetypes, we've talked about self-care versus soul care, and today our topic is sovereignty. Knowledge, wisdom from within.
It is, yeah, and this is a hot topic. This is a topic that I love exploring because it's been it's been demonized in our current culture. Like we're not raised to be sovereign beings in our culture. And if you look at the definition of sovereignty, it's the freedom from external control. So oftentimes we're raised in our culture to give our power away in some way to some sort of authority. That so-and-so, that specialist, that expert, that guru, that teacher, it just goes on and on and on, right? That list.
Google.
That Google, that's excellent. That Google. Even like there's like the Google, like the medical doctor Google.
Yeah.
And how many people give their power away to that? Oh, I have this symptom, therefore, I must be dying. Everything comes down to I must be dying. So sovereignty is really about, if you can imagine yourself at the heart, so you're at like the center, and there's all these different ways that we give our power away. And sovereignty is the concept of taking all of that power right back home again. And knowing that whatever is going on in your life, that the ultimate wisdom lies inside of you. And we can seek guidance and support and help from externally, but really knowing that the wisdom lives inside of us. Yeah. So what we need to do and in order to really embody this concept of sovereignty is to bring all that power back home again and know that the ultimate wisdom lives inside of you. And it's not that we don't go seeking help or support or,
medical guidance.
Medical, right, guidance, that kind of thing, right? Because there are real experts out there.
Yeah.
And we keep returning back to, okay, what do I know? What do I know is true for me?
Yeah.
And, one of the things that we talk a lot about in circles of women is this advice giving, and that it's just kind of the norm in our culture to, when someone has issues, someone has a problem, we just go right into, here, I know how to solve that. Here, you need to do in order to solve that problem.
Yeah.
And so from a sovereign perspective, if you came to me and you said, I've got this issue going on, the first thing I would ask you is, do you want any support? Do you want any advice? Do you want anything from me at all? And then what I've done in that scenario is I've given that power back to you. You decide if you want anything from me. Maybe you just wanted to speak. Maybe you just wanted to be heard. And there's nothing at all that you want.
Right. So we can kind of encourage sovereignty in the people around us as well by encouraging them to listen to their own inner guidance and say, you got this. What do you think?
What do you think? And how can I support you?
How can I support you?
How can I support you?
Yeah,
so support is one.
That's been a challenge for me or something that I've worked on in my life is referencing internally versus externally and thinking, triangulating, okay, what does Google, my imaginary parents in my head, my friends, referencing, triangulating what I think I should be doing versus kind of what secretly I know that is right for me or what I want, right? One practice that I've done before is just calling my power back to me and actually imagining it flowing back and just charging up.
That's a beautiful practice. And that I would expand on that in terms of, if in any experience in your past, if you've felt like a victim, been oppressed in any way, to call your power back from that experience. Because oftentimes we'll give our power away and we'll just keep on going and not even realize that that power is still with that other person or that system or that whatever.
Yeah.
That was so calling all of that back home again is vital to our health.
Can you give our viewers a kind of a little step-by-step of how they would do that practice if they wanted to do this at home?
Sure. One of the images that I really love is to imagine that you're on top of a mountain and you have all of these strings that are kind of linking you, these cords that are linking you to everyone you've ever had an experience with in your life. And so some of those cords, might lead you to a really healthy memory, a healthy relationship, something that's really life-giving. And so we want to hold on to those. Those can feed us. And then other cords may lead to really toxic relationships or memories that are extremely painful. And so one of the practices that I really like doing is to imagine that we're severing those cords to the toxicity, right? And then the remainder of the cord, we pull right back to us. So anything that we might have given away to that other in an unhealthy way, we can pull back a healthier version of it. So let's say in some way I didn't have a voice in a relationship. And so when I sever that toxic relationship, I'm calling back within myself the knowledge that I am worthy of my voice. So whatever comes out of my mouth is worthy of being heard. So there's goodness that comes from the pulling back of that power. Yeah.
I even like to sever cords, even if they're positive attachments as well, just to kind of. It's the attachment part, I think, that is the severing, right? Or the expectation, and then just allowing things to be what they are.
Right. And that's really beautiful as well, because then we can kind of start fresh without having any kind of layers of expectations stacked on top of each other.
Yeah. Try it. It's really so powerful, and it's visceral too. I can feel it in my body.
Absolutely. So sovereignty is at the heart of a lot of the teachings that we do. There's a lot of experiences where I invite women in and say, here, come experience this if you choose. And in any given moment, if a woman's inner knowing is like, no, I'm going to choose not to do this, then that in and of itself is a process. To choose to not do something might be the actual process that person was supposed to learn. So that is rolled into sovereignty all throughout the work that we do.
Well, thank you. Sovereignty, another interesting topic that you're going to delve much more into in your program. And people can find out more about the program at your website. On the slide on that, nataliejackson.com. And don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video for a chance to win a one-on-one session with Nathalie.
Yes, and thank you all for being here, and stay tuned for our next video, which is something exciting, and I can't remember the topic.
Video 5, I think it is, what about the masculine? We're going to talk about masculine and feminine polarity. Yeah.
Yes, join us there.
Thanks everyone.